Dunkley to the cage.
Oh, man. So we have a pretty interesting matchup coming up right now. Issa Abel versus Collin Dunkley. I've actually trained with Issa Abel for the past few years over at Gustavo Dante's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and at Arizona Combat Sports, my former training home, if you will. Great jiu-jitsu guy. He's still learning the stand-up, but a really strong jiu-jitsu guy.
All right, and you look at Collin Dunkley, Tucson's finest coming out. He's a striker at 0-1. And Issa Abel is 3-0, 1-0 as a pro. You mentioned GD Jiu-Jitsu and Arizona Combat Sports for him. 24 years old. Both fighters are 24 years old coming in. But you have Tucson against the Phoenix area. Don Hinsman's Tiger's Pit is the home for Dunkley. And that's quite a flag he's got going there. The Constrictor, Jamie, Issa Abel.
Issa's a tough dude. Like I said, he's still learning the striking, still coming, still trying to grow as a fighter, but his jiu-jitsu game is where he flourishes. He was an Arizona State runner-up in wrestling, so wrestled at Paradise Valley High School here. He's a local kid by way of Iran, I believe. Tough dude. I've trained with him on and off for the past 7 years, and we got a striker versus wrestler matchup, a striker versus grappler matchup again. If Collin Dunkley can keep this fight on the feet, I think it'll be a good night for him. But Issa gets him to the mat, it's going to be a short night for Collin.
Looking forward to this one. We still have 4 more title fights to come. Now look at Trevor Lally. I mean, he doesn't even have time to sit tonight. Every time we look up, he's right back out here with another fighter.
It's amazing. Like, Arizona Combat Sports is dominating this card. I mean, 6 fighters, all studs. They're undefeated so far tonight. And I see Issa winning this fight. I mean, like I said earlier, iron sharpens iron. I mean, he trains with some really tough guys on a daily basis, and his jiu-jitsu, he hits really hard, but his jiu-jitsu game is unbelievable. I mean, he is the Constrictor. He grabs a hold of you, and you're not getting up.
And that was a nice cartwheel there as well. And you heard Frinku talk about Trevor Lally. He has a lot of respect in MMA. He's coached you. You know a lot about him. But Issa, the Constrictor Abel, and Collin, Tucson's finest Dunkley, going to go at it here in this professional matchup at Rage in the Cage 174 at 155. Don't forget, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Rage in the Cage AZ, and text RITC to 55678 to join our opt-in mobile club. To meet our next 2 fighters, Dunkley and Abel, let's go up to Rockin' Rick Reyes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the next pro bout on our fight card, on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with black and red trim. He is 6'1" tall, 155 pounds. Coming to us from Tucson, Arizona, he fights out of Don Hinsman's Tiger's Pit. Please welcome Collin, Tucson's finest, Dunkley. Dunkley. His opponent on my right is sponsored by Caliente Graphics and Design. He is 5'9" tall, also weighed in at 155 pounds. Hailing from Tempe, Arizona, he fights out of AZ Combat Sports and GD Jiu-Jitsu. He's wearing the black trunks with white and red trim. 1-0 record. He is Issa, the Constrictor, Abel. This fight is brought to you by the AC Experts. Our third man in the cage is Mr. Al Guiney. Once again, folks, 3 5-minute rounds.
All right, Jim Grieshaber and Jamie Varner back at Celebrity Theater in Phoenix, streaming live on Go Fight Live around the world here tonight. Collin, Tucson's finest Dunkley against Issa, the Constrictor Abel. And Abel able to get top control early on after they spin around the mat a little bit.
Yeah, Issa is a monster on the ground. I mean, I've trained with this guy so many times. he is a monster. He's a really good jiu-jitsu guy. He's deceptively strong, and if he gets your back, you're not getting out. I mean, he is very, very strong here. Great position. Yeah, this is what he does. He takes people's back and he chokes people out. But Collin's doing a good job. He's got his chin down, so it can turn into more of a jaw crank. He's trying to soften him up with those punches right now, trying to open up that choke. But Collin is doing a good job here. I'm really surprised that Issa wasn't able to execute that choke. Oh, now he's under the chin.
Oh, he had it for a second there.
Collin's doing a good job defending. I mean, this guy came to fight. He didn't come to lose. Oh, that's that body triangle I was talking to you about earlier. All right, and Collin's actually defending it well. You roll to the side of the triangle to try and break that grip. You want to put pressure on the top of that foot. But Issa doesn't really care, obviously. He's just trying to get that choke. But Collin's doing the right defense. That chin's coming up. I would be really surprised if he doesn't finish this from here. It's a great position for Issa. That's where you don't want to be if you're Collin Dunkley.
3 5-minute rounds. That's Jamie Varner. I'm Jim Grieshaber as we go along in round number 1. The Constrictor looking like one so far against Collin Dunkley. Still working that rear naked choke with the body triangle.
Yeah, I mean, Collin came here to fight. I mean, he's doing the right things. I mean, Issa is a very established brown belt under Gustavo Dantes, who is arguably the best jiu-jitsu coach in the Southwest. So I've trained with Gustavo for about 10 years. I love the guy. Great coach, great master motivator. And then Issa is like one of his pupils. I mean, he really, really works hard with Issa, works a lot with him. But again, this is where you don't want to be. Issa is a monster. He gets a hold of you. You do not get up. So Collin's in for a long first round if he can make it out.
A lot of patience on the part of Abel, still working that choke.
Yeah, I mean, that body triangle, he's glued onto his back. He's going to have to let go in order for Collin to get out. That's the only option. But Collin's doing the right. He keeps rolling to the right side. He's stepping on the foot, trying to put pressure on the top of that foot where it's locked in there, and hoping that Issa will let go. But Issa's just not letting go. It must not be putting enough pressure on it.
Not with that triangle. The choke has been in and out for Issa Abel, but he's had control of this fight from almost the very beginning over Collin Dunkley. Both guys 24 in the 155-pound division here at Rage in the Cage. But Issa Abel, another one of these great prospects that we have here in this state. We talked about several possible UFC, Bellator, World Series of Fighting guys on this card here tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this guy, if he wants to stick with MMA, he's got a bright future. I mean, he just learns every single day he's in the gym. Every day in the gym is another opportunity. Oh, wow, look at this turn of events. I did not see this happening. But Issa's no slouch off his back either. He's a monster on top, but he's still a brown belt, high-level jiu-jitsu guy, even off his back. Look at transition to that triangle. Oh, wow. Collin, that's pretty impressive. He defended the armbar, defended the triangle attempt, and now is on top, raining some punches on Issa. He may be able to steal this round.
Slamming the head of Abel into the cage.
Pros are allowed to elbow here, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see Collin throw some elbows from down on bottom. He's playing a tight game. I think he knows that Issa is a really well-established jiu-jitsu brown belt, so he's just going to play a tight game. But Issa's working for that triangle again right here. If you see, he's going almost rubber guard. Yep, transitioning to the rubber guard. He's looking for that triangle. So what he's going to try and do, he's going to try and beat Collin's right arm with his leg and try and launch up that leg and get the triangle locked in. Collin doing a good job putting pressure on Issa.
Impressed with Dunkley's defense and then reversing and maintaining top position on Abel.
Now this could be one of two fights tonight that goes into the second round. I mean, Issa usually finishes guys when he gets into that when he gets the back. So I wonder what the mental psyche is going to be like for Issa not finishing that choke, being on his back for almost 3 minutes. I mean, that could screw with the fighter a little bit.
Under 30 seconds remaining in the round. You're right. You give your best. You think you have it, and you're not able to get that finish. We've seen it so many times on every level of fighting, but a great turnaround for Dunkley against Abel, and I don't know who to score this round for, Jamie.
He may steal it by just being on top. Being on top the last 2 minutes. This is the last thing the judges see.
That's the end of round number 1. Dunkley and Abel. Dunkley's all fired up in there.
Yeah.
As we take a look at Issa Abel going over to talk to his corner, what are they going to say to him, Jamie, in between rounds, or what would you say to him?
honestly, Issa just needs to relax. He's controlling. He controlled the first part of that round. I do give the round to Issa Abel because he was in dominant position for so long. But it all kind of depends. You never know with these judges. You never know. These judges could score it for Dunkley because he's finished the fight on top and he was landing more shots on top than Issa was. But I'm gonna give this round to Issa. He controlled the fight, got the takedown, had the back control for about 3 minutes. Collin did get on top. The sweatier he gets, the more slippery he will become. So we are going to see round 2 here, Jim.
Jamie Varner and I'm Jim Grieshaber here at Rage in the Cage 174. Al Guiney in the center of the cage getting our fighters set for round number 2. Collin, Tucson's finest Dunkley, and Issa, the Constrictor Abel, who comes out with a big head kick. And now Dunkley with some shots to the body and a big left to the head.
Well, you saw the big kick from Issa. Collin probably didn't expect that one to come. And then he ate some body shots, but now you got the body lock of Issa Abel right into side mount position. Probably gonna try and slide that knee across over for mount. Oh, I don't know. He's got a pretty decent position. If he pushes that arm across his face, he could get into that arm triangle position, which we saw a fighter earlier tonight finish the fight with that submission. But he's staying nice and tight, playing a tight game, taking his time, relaxing. Most likely that's what Trevor told him to do. Hey, you're winning this fight. Stay calm, stay relaxed, get the takedown, establish good position on top, and then go for the submission or look to punish on top with elbows and knees. There we go. Now, if you look here, Jim, he's got his arm trapped, which makes it really difficult to defend any sort of strikes or any sort of attack. I mean, Issa's got a great position here again, but Collin is a tough dude. Oh, going for the Kimura.
Dunkley's very strong. You can just see it with that defense and that upper body strength.
Yep, going for the armbar now. Armbar, nope. That was a high-risk move right there. High-risk move, but transitions nicely into this triangle. Doesn't have the triangle locked up, but he's got the head and the arm trapped in between his legs. He needs to put that right foot in the crook of his left knee in order to finish this triangle here, Jim.
And he had it for a long time in the first round. Very impressed with Dunkley, though, able to reverse again on a very good wrestler and jiu-jitsu artist, a brown belt, as you mentioned, in Issa Abel. Hasn't been a lot of action in this fight. It's been about ground control.
This is a tough fight, and I didn't expect this to be that tough on the ground. I expected if Collin was going to win, he was going to win on his feet. But he arguably won the first round just by finishing that last 2 minutes on top, and now he's winning this round by, on top. He's doing a little bit more damage on top than Issa was. Issa kept looking for the submission as opposed to getting good position, trying to throw punches, and waiting for stuff to open up. He was kind of forcing the submissions as opposed to waiting for them to open up by using his striking.
And it's obvious how strong Dunkley is. Very, very strong fighter. Maintaining top position against Issa Abel, not easy to do.
Not easy. I mean, the fact that he was able to shake Issa off in the first round was quite impressive, but this right here, Issa's still working for that triangle. He's got a triangle, and he's also got the arm. He's looking for either one. He may whip that left leg around. Oh, got the triangle. Now he needs to put that in the crook. That's a great position. I don't want to say that's all she wrote because I've said that before and ended up.
Big slam from Dunkley.
But Issa's still got the triangle. Now he's got the arm across the face. This fight's over. This fight is over. He's going to pull down the head, put pressure. Dunkley may go out.
He's looking for the tap. Now he's going for the armbar. Didn't get it. Still maintaining the triangle.
Dunkley is a tough dude. I cannot believe how tough this guy is.
Very tough.
I mean, he is just bad position after bad position, but this is it. This should be it.
Really cranking that head and neck with the triangle and the arm across the face, and Dunkley's so tough, refusing to go out or tap out.
This is a very tough fight. I can't believe how tough Dunkley is.
Abel pulling with all he's worth, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, this is if he makes it out of this round, the psyche of Issa Abel is going to be a little wishy-washy. He's not going to be a confident fighter going into that third round, having all these great positions.
Out of that triangle, and now looking to strike from the top is Dunkley, maintaining that position. Now he's got that head of Abel trapped.
He's got the head of Abel trapped, but then Abel's also kind of got his back. You see those hooks locked in there.
Yep.
Abel just needs to come. Issa needs to come out of the back door. There you go. Now he's got the back. And
Looking
here again.
Naked again.
I mean, submission after submission. I do not want to be the judges right now. I don't, because like, how do you score this? You know, you got all the strikes being landed by Collin, but then you have all these submission attempts going on by Issa. Issa may be losing his back control again.
24 seconds left in the round, Jamie.
The longer this fight lasts, the more sweat that Collin gets, the slipperier he's going to be. And it's really hard to land submissions when you're that slippery.
That's a great point. The technical side of MMA, more so in jiu-jitsu, I think, than anything else. And we've seen a lot of people that tap was right at the bell. No. Al Guiney says no tap. Collin Dunkley was tapping right as the bell sounded. Al Guiney waves it off. Is that it? Is the fight over?
Fight over?
Or is he waving off the tap? I think the fight's over. I think Dunkley's out.
No, he's not out. He's definitely not out. Is the fight? I think the fight's over. The way everybody's posturing, I'm assuming that this fight is over.
I think this fight's over. Yeah, Dunkley was looking to head back to the dressing room. He absolutely gave it his all. A terrific fight from Collin Dunkley in the face of an onslaught of jiu-jitsu from Issa, the Constrictor Abel. And the Constrictor is going to win this fight. Take a look at the replay here as Dunkley landed a couple of shots, but Abel was able to, through most of the fight, control on the ground with the jiu-jitsu. There you see him lock in that triangle. Well, almost had that triangle there, but he got it a couple of moments after. Just pulling on that head and upper body. There it is right there of Dunkley as you take a look at the slam. And I thought here Dunkley had a chance to do some damage, but Abel got right back in to that triangle. And so a tremendous performance by both fighters, but Abel coming away with the win by tap out here tonight at the end of round number 2. And almost making it to the end was Dunkley, as you see Abel there rolling into that choke that finished it off. Let's go up for the official decision to Rockin' Rick Reyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 4 minutes, 59 seconds of the second round. Your winner by submission tap due to rear naked choke. Fighting out of the blue corner, Issa, the Constrictor, Abel from AZ Combat Sports.